Hello everyone. I'm going to be doing a pre-brand with Pyrat. See this guy here? Our last pre-brand stream we made him. And now we're going to do more of that. You might be getting some eating ASMR, which I'm sorry for. That broth is amazing. Oh my god. Hi Fabio. That's incredible. That's really good. Oh, that was so nice. Adding like cooked meats to your instant noodles just makes them amazing. Because all the fat as well, like, gets into the broth, makes it so good. Holy shit. Oh. It's already a bit of a failure. It's already a failure. Um... Hello? Oh. I can't hear anything. I should... Oh, there we go. Hello. How's the camera? Okay, interesting. Okay, let's see if I can hear you somehow. Is it gonna be me? What do you mean? Zoom meetings. Sound settings. Only one sound output.
Computer.
Oh, hello. Yes, hello.
There it went.
Oh, hello.
So
Yes.
I'll mute your YouTube,
Okay,
and I won't necessarily watch it, or maybe I don't know where we want to do chat if we do, or I'll do mine and you do yours or something.
Yeah, we'll do both.
We'll see. I don't know if anyone's gonna. I haven't streamed in a while.
I'm advertising on my Twitter.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Oh,
Yeah.
you got a website.
I've got a URL which goes to my YouTube.
Oh, well, you got a URL. That's cool.
Yeah.
Is that a recent acquisition?
I got it. I was making meta.website. So meta's like the meta prayers, you know, it's like may you be happy, may you be free from suffering. And I was making a website to Plavin. I was making a website where you could do that kind of prayer or that kind of meditation with the website, and I made it meta.website. And then recently I was like, okay, I'm gonna make it Hanjo.website. And I was thinking that would kind of be like a thing, because the website domains are quite cheap, and they're also pretty good, I think. I feel like that's a pretty good URL. You can do like a very short initial, and then the second thing's the website.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck me.
I'm with you.
Okay. Yeah.
It's good. I like it.
There we go.
I'm trying to figure out, do I want to try and get your camera? I mean, I do. Ideally, I have you up on my screen as well.
Test. Okay. Gotta make myself louder. Test. Oh. Microphone closer.
Why can't I find...
Louder. Nice.
Share screen. Oh, why isn't share screen working?
It's very odd. When I grab the zoom, it doesn't show.
Oh, here we go.
Well, that's your loss, Plavin.
Okay, so now I've got us on the top right of my screen. I've also got myself on the bottom right, which I'm about to get rid of. I'll be a little guy.
Yeah, when I try to capture the zoom, it doesn't let me show it. So it's like my stream is just going to be my face. And your stream is going to be the stuff.
That's cool though. I mean, that's what yours usually is it's just you talking. So this time it'll be weird to see you paying attention to something maybe.
Yeah.
Or also maybe you can, well, I imagine you'll have quite a bit more chat going on than I will. In which case that'll work well in that way as well. All right, so my computer is just completely deciding if it wants to go through with this. Let me start force quitting some stuff. I wasn't quite ready. I'm sorry for being as late as I was.
That's okay. I was finishing off my doodles, so worked out perfectly.
What'd you do, like the Twitter doodle thing?
For what, sorry?
Did you say doodles? And in which case, is that like Twitter? Did you like do a Twitter I'll draw you type thing, or am I?
No. I said noodles.
Oh. I love your I don't know what you call those, interactive, like crowd crowd control things that you do with illustrations or vibe checks, or I should be doing those. Very early on with pre-brand, I did do a few like on the spot, kind of on the spot, like logos for people. I did on the first few streams. I need to do more. I think maybe it would be a good exercise in not taking it seriously, because otherwise I think I would spend too much time on each one.
Yeah, all of my stuff is very, very quick, but I try to have integrity to like what I actually feel or intuit about the person. And I feel like you could do that too, yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what language what visual language I would be using there.
I mean, you kind of think visually anyway, so you could even just do a thought. You're like, like a circle with a square. It's a nice thought.
I'll just type that. I'll give you a visual, but it's gonna be in words.
Yeah.
That would work.
Yeah.
Man, I have so much stuff open.
Circle with square over it with your name on the right.
In such and such style.
In Victorian style.
It's steampunk plus Johnny Mnemonic plus the lower half of the. Yeah, cool.
I'm into this sort of Zen. I think you should actually do this, like writing out what people's logos, like the aesthetic. I think that's fun.
The only part of that I wouldn't necessarily enjoy is having to use or I wouldn't have to do anything, but I'm wary of using jargon and or words. I'm not necessarily very historically and or professionally educated. I think it's fair and true to say I haven't read any design books. I'm not very aware of my craft in that way. And so I'm not sure I would feel odd about using words specifically. There's also like as a corollary where it's not just me being insecure necessarily as much as it's like things I've been exposed to, which I find very unattractive, which is like, let's say the skill or the craft of writing a description of an art piece for a gallery, or like what you would expect to see in like an art criticism piece. Like basically like the ability to take something apart with words and not actually say anything about it. Like you say a lot of things, but you like very purposely leave any kind of statement like away from it. I find that like really difficult to, like, it's almost like an assault. And it's similarly with like, well, whatever. I guess I just take words seriously maybe. But I'm sounding silly in this context where it's just tweets. All right, let's not quit Zoom. But yeah, you're right, I should do this.
I think words are a being that serve a purpose, and that purpose is to point to truth. And they're not good for much else. They're good for like, hey, like, how can I get to the shop? And they're like, that way. Like, oh, thanks. But they could be just pointed.
Words are beings, and their purpose is to point to truth.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, when I like, I'm like deliberately like not capturing a thing, it's because my intention is just to point to truth. It's not to like wrestle with the thing itself. It's like there's a thing over there is all I'm saying really all the time.
Well, I mean, within your framework, you could say that about anything, right?
Yeah.
Replace words with, that water bottles are pointers to truth.
Yeah, absolutely. I completely agree.
And I'm sorry, I missed the part where they have energy, or they are energy.
Everything's energy. Everything's also not energy. That's the wild thing.
Say that again. Sorry.
Said everything's also not energy. That's the wild thing.
And by that you mean like the ultimate realization, the emptiness at the end. Is that a reference to that?
No, I mean literally, it's like everything's energy and everything's also not energy, and it's like they're both at the same time and they like interact with each other because, like, that's just like the human thing where it's like like let me just categorize this whole subset, like this whole group of things as a thing, and then like create a framework where I can like min-max the value out of that thing, and we do that with like material world stuff where there's like science is the min-maxer, and then we do it with like spiritual stuff where like energy is the min-maxer, but really like they're not separate. They're like, and they're also both pointing to something which is like, a lot more, real, which is the truth, which is non-conceptual. Yeah.
Yeah, interesting. So now when you say it's both energy and not energy, when you say not energy, I can see you meaning it like in terms of it's it's not just it's not that it's not that the word energy contains it adequately, but then also it's just that it's very mundane, not energy. It's just like material. It's just like
Yeah.
armpits or whatever.
Yeah, it's both, and they interact, and also they don't really properly capture the actual thing.
Well, yeah. I mean, when you say it's not energy, how many ways could you state that? Be like,
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'm backing up. I'm trying to pull what we had from before.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to switch to shared content. That's a good button to press.
What's up?
I'm just figuring out my own thing to get to. This was great. This was really good. I forgot how good this was. We really did a good job.
It'd be fun to bring some of this back a little, maybe. Even but like I like how punchy this stuff is.
Yeah.
It's what you have now is very punchy as well, but because there's so much there, it's like maximalist punchy as opposed to this, which would be more like minimalist punchy maybe, or whatever.
I'm a big maximalist, to be honest. I love that shit.
Yeah, no, I'm with it. But maybe we could get both somehow.
Yeah, that sounds fun.
Man, I think it's still charting.
Look at my chat. Oh, now Rogers, gaming time.
Oh yeah, I should. I don't think I did. I have one, but yeah, I have one viewer. That's cool. I didn't retweet until a couple moments ago, I think.
Nice.
Not that will necessarily change. What is it? Sunday night.
Sunday night.
I'm doing this. This is for you, man. This is for you and the people I'm with. That I wasn't. I'm not sure. I'm not. I think I'll be streaming again this week for a client. I need to get final clarity from him on that. We're going to be talking tomorrow, but it's that could be cool. Like I'll actually be doing the thing I had been doing quite a bit of last year, which is just be streaming or posting actual process shots from my design process with clients, which is still pretty weird and new. But I haven't. I've been working a little. I have been working this year, but none of them have been public, and so I haven't pushed it. And I wanted to get all. I want to do what you've done with your videos, which is to pick out the choice bits and then to give them a good title. And I think that would be a great exercise. And then just to have 3 to 5 minute pieces here and there from various parts. I don't even have to be organized about it.
The main reason that I decided to stream on YouTube is because I can just click stop streaming and then it uploads a whole YouTube video of me streaming by itself. And it's like I don't have to do download it from Twitch, upload it to YouTube. Just skipping that whole process is enough of a losing some inconvenience that I would just prefer to stream on YouTube.
Sure. Yeah. Having all the videos. I think it's Foursquare Illustrator.
Hi, Dyer. Should be seeing something. You should be seeing something. You should see something now, to some degree. Hi, Captain Squid. Hi, Stay in the Grave. Dyer, you've just come into the stream and said that to me. You said no one cares, but you just came in and said that to me, which indicates that you do care. And I wasn't shoving this in your face, you know?
You're putting me on your screen. That's cool. Yeah, so I'll get Illustrator open again. I just forced quit. I had way too many tabs open. I didn't want to. Hopefully I didn't lose anything too important.
Stay in the Grave cars. He's famous on the game Mordhau. He does punching people.
I should keep this over here. I want to read your comments too.
Oh, I'm not sure if you do. They're not very nice people usually.
No, you think I haven't read your comments?
There's a lot of people from the Wartown community, and they like being mean for fun. But it's because they care, really. They just want to be free from suffering like everyone else, and they want to be happy. And they're like, the
Right.
way I'm going to do this is by being edgy.
This is your final, so that's cool. All right, and then I've got the old stuff open here, and then so what we're thinking, like new business. This is all old business. Oh, look at this guy. He was cool.
It was
Like
cool.
John Lennon.
Yeah.
New business is a Hanjo website.
Hanjo website.
And you had given some detail on, you were comparing it to something that you had done before. And I caught it, but I didn't catch it very well. And I wouldn't mind if you wouldn't, like, also, I kind of wanted to hear what it was. Is it still up? Can I see it? And then how close is what you're doing now to what you were doing before? Because then I'll know how closely we should copy it, or like, is it very different? Or, like those kinds of questions.
So, actually, I was talking about something that I understood, and it's like maybe I was describing it so perfectly that you thought I'd already made it. But but my idea was that let me just scroll back to what I was actually saying. Yeah. So I had this idea of like when you can take any like this is a very complicated idea. So let's say that like there's an energy field in your body, and like that's you. You're like that being is the being like in the energy field of your body. But there's also like an energy field. There's also like a being or like a energy field for like the cultural you, which is like the you occupying like cultural space.
Is that a me that's occupying cultural space, or is that cultural space occupying me?
It's a different being that is a cultural being. And like there's a you being, which is you in your body, and then there's a cultural being, which is a different being.
Yeah.
And my theory of beings, well, I couldn't say my theory. I got it from a teacher, Mark Feenstra. He's great. Kind of, he's also developed it myself. Is that like in every being there are other beings. So it's like within the cultural me is actually just like a space which holds a bunch of different things. And the same way like me personally, like as a body or whatever,
right,
is a space which holds a bunch of different things. And those things are like, like insecurity, fear, love, third eye stuff. And like, so like these energy centers in the body are beings, and I am the space that holds those beings, and that's who I am as a person, is a holder for different beings to express themselves in human body.
Sure.
So I was thinking for the cultural being, which is me, like reflecting that somehow with a website would be very interesting, because I think that would be, it's almost like a teaching as a website.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Is the within that framework, to what degree is the human different from the other things that are being contained? Because they're all, it's containers containing human as a container. I'm just like, teach me a little on the, because I'm like this stuff is I'm super into it, and it's similar to the things I've been reading and what I've been trying to learn in terms of like whatever. I don't need to try to explain this. So I'm just, I'll stick to my question.
Yeah, I think there's I mean, to be honest, I think there's no like main being. It's like there's a meat suit, and then the meat suit is occupied by like different things at different times in different like quantities. So it's like 20% fear, like 20% the being of fear is active, 50% the being of love is active, like 30% the being of I don't know, intellect is active.
So then maybe the meat suit, like is then maybe the meat suit like any kind of differentiator in terms of container value or quality or something. I don't know.
That's a great question.
like if it's I get, yeah, I get it, like, but I'm getting it, like, it, to me it's maybe akin to the thing where it's like if you look at our cosmology in terms of like 10 to the nth powers, in terms like negative infinity or positive infinities, and uh like the human scale is always like right in the middle. Like somehow we just always happen to kind of be in the middle of like galaxy size versus like protons or whatever. It's like, oh, there's the human kind of drumming up the middle, like with his arms out. And I have always found that to be like funny in as much as like there's other things like that in the but it's funny in as much as like it seems like there's a clear bias, like we still have there's a lack of Copernican insight or something, where we still haven't recognized our place in the universe, and so our scaling systems are still like so warped by our inability to whatever. But that's a bit of like an old perspective. I don't know how much I still share that, but I'm also don't really understand the question very well. And as you describe these containers within containers, I get that we are that, but I'm also curious, are we not also, is there a part of us that's not just that?
Yeah, and
because it does seem like the human has a unique opportunity potentially, from what I'm learning.
the way I see it, can I share my screen and do a little drawing?
I don't know, can you? Yeah.
Oh,
I
it
can
says
do that.
disabled. So if you go to the bottom of Zoom, next to the share screen button, you should be able to enable it there.
I gotta find participants. I'm gonna make you the host.
Okay.
I think that'll work. And then you should be able to.
Cool. It stops your screen sharing. Is that okay if I take a little break from your screen sharing, or you do it after?
I think it would have to take a break from my screen sharing. No.
Nice. Okay, great. Yeah, so it's like there's like a okay. This is gonna be fun.
Oh, this is cool. You're actually, yeah. I think, as far as I know, you're streaming direct to my thing.
So it's like the being. There's like the human being, and this is the Earth. It's not to scale. So the human being acts as a space for like these other beings that are in us to be held, for them to exist, right? And for them to also exist like as a human. So it's like insecurity can exist as like an energy and just be held or just be there, but it can also exist as your being and like express itself through your being, like where like it becomes, you inhabit it, and that's like feeling your feelings, right? And feeling your feelings is good because it gives that being a chance to be human. And there's also like, there's the upper chakras too. But then if you think about it, in terms of like the universe, so the human is a loving space for beings to arise and to take different forms. Does that make sense so far?
Right up until the last part, take different forms.
So one form is like you feel it as an energy in your knee. Another form is a story in your head. Another form is like you're feeling it. You're already feeling it in your whole body.
The human space, aka the human body, is a loving place for different energies to be hosted and to embody themselves in different ways.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Beings embody themselves in different ways, and the reason they can do that is because the human body is a loving space for them. There's a lovingness to the human that makes the beings feel safe in taking different forms.
When you use the word loving, is this like a subjective to that energy thing, or is it a universal quality of the human body? Like, is it like a mutual attraction between that anxiety and that person? Like loving is like a thing between them two in this case, like as you're using it, or is it both or neither? Did I make up that first one?
So it's caring for something as it is, and it's a cultivation. That's like the cultivation. It's like you're cultivating a lovingness towards things as they are and beings as they are in your own being, in your own self.
This is a characteristic of the human that just is, that we are not necessarily aware of. Is that
this is something that some people have and some people don't, to different degrees. It's like a scale. and some people are on one end of the scale, and some people aren't. And like the lower on the scale, so let's have a scale, like low love, so like low connection to love down here, and high love. So like here, if you're like here, then these beings don't feel safe to appear in any form they want. They appear as like repressed forms in your body, where they like aren't going to show up unless you suddenly you explode, and then all of your anger comes out at once. And that's like a low love. That's because the human body was like a low love space for it. It didn't feel safe. So then it showed up when it like really had to, and it like.
But why are they there to begin with? Because it kind of seemed like if the body is this loving space for energies to express themselves, that was just sort of like this gateway that they could come surf for a while. Whereas this sounds more like you've got these energies that for some, if they happen to be in, not happen to, I don't know what that means, but like if they're in a low love person, then they're stuck there and like have very little opportunity for self-expression, or is that fair? Like, am I not seeing a dimension here where it doesn't really affect them if they're in a low love situation? It's just that that person doesn't get to see certain things or something like that.
So
I don't mean see, I mean like experience or
so the human is a container for these beings, but these beings are also beings. So they're also containers for beings. And then also the universe is a container for beings, obviously, because there's a bunch of us in it. And like the galaxy is a container for beings. So it's like and then the human space can be cultivated in different ways, and one way it can be cultivated is love, but another way it can be cultivated is like how many beings do you want in your space? And like how could they show up? And like love is a good way to make them show up in like a safe way. Yeah.
And when you say human space, you're talking about like a body, right?
I'm talking about body, yeah. But also some of it's not a body, I feel like.
Sure.
Like aura or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I want to keep asking about like the container thing, but it's like things that are containers are good at being containers, and like some things are better at it than others, and human bodies just seem like they're like really good containers, and if you treat them, they're also like really good at being loving, and like the whole thing works out well if it's done well or something like that.
That was perfect and beautiful.
So like, yeah, I don't need to keep questioning if it's like, why is it a container or some shit. And I'm also curious in this case, to what degree is this potentially, like, does this apply to what you want to do? Because I think this actually, how does this wrap back around to the question about your website? And like, okay, so hold on. We got into this because a little bit of, you were starting to explain the difference between the cultural being within us and the self, which is another being. And you want a website which expresses your cultural being, because that's like it's almost like an academic resource. I don't think you used that word, but and then I started asking more about like the nature of that kind of being, and then now we're here where you're diagramming stuff, I think. And so now I'm curious to bring it back like mid loop. Like, do you see any of your website here?
Yeah, so like, the way I see my website is as a loving space to contain my cultural beings. So I think that's about it.
That's
say
cool.
Hello to the chat. Hi S55H. Hi Saint Jacob. It is recorded.
Loving space to contain your cultural being. Did I get that right?
Cultural beings.
Beings. All right, sure. Thank you.
Yeah. Great.
I think I'm streaming correctly. Yeah, that's cool. So I've got a couple. So Saint Jacob, is this recorded? Yeah, you know what? That sucks. I wasn't recording it on my hard drive, but it is recorded to Twitch for the next 2 weeks, and maybe I can download it or something. But I did just hit record, so thanks for the heads up on that. So the rest of it will be. That sucks. I don't have a recording of your biz, but I guess you have a recording.
I have a recording of it. I could send it to you. Something.
Wow. As long as it exists.
It does exist.
And then S55H. Hey, I joined late. What's the stream about? This stream is me hanging out with Hanjo and helping him out as a follow-up to having done this. Oh, when did we do it? A
Wow, it
while
feels like
ago.
an aeon ago.
Yeah, I'm like, actually, it's kind of an abyss in my mind as I try and figure out when that was.
December? Late December?
Yeah, I think that's right.
So is that probably about exactly a month ago? I mean, it's almost exactly.
This is what you had before.
Oh, could you share your screen again, please?
Oh, I'm not. It's on my stream, but it's not on my Zoom. That's funny. Host to say, so you got to make me the host again.
Peace, Fabio. Oh, let me make you the host. Make host.
And then, yeah, what's up, Chris? Oh, I guess I didn't really finish the question because I got distracted by the fact that I wasn't streaming. So I'm here. I'm going to share screen. I'm going to do this. And we should be back to normal. I liked you taking over, though. That was cool. I want to see more sketching.
Dope. I love sketching.
Yeah, clearly. It was great. This is cool as a reference point. I think we had stopped here on the left for a while, and then I came back and did some more shit. But yeah, the purpose of the stream is to level up, and not level up because I don't think you have anything right now.
I don't have anything right now.
But to just like design you or help you think through getting a website up. And maybe we should talk about that too in terms of you can code, right? Like, didn't you say that you can maybe build it? Or
I can build it. I mean, I haven't done it for a while, but I don't know. I'm okay. I'm okay. I can do a front end website without any back end stuff reasonably well.
Right, we're in the same boat then. And then I mean, there's like Webflow is pretty rad, apparently. And I bet we could get. Have you been talking to Josh Kaplan? I feel like
maybe actually. Let me. Yeah.
He's a wizard and crazy talented, and I bet if we both hit him up for help, he would help you build. Like if we got, I guess what. So there's a couple things we can work on without doing anything really. Like one of them is to just like start thinking about like the structure of your website. Like what are the pages on it? What does it mean to contain your different beans, like your reference points or whatever that winds up being. And we can, just because I know how to build websites, we can, and you do too, we can think through like what the structure would be or whatever, and cool. Figure out like a basic design without actually building anything. We could also, I don't know, I probably won't. I think that would be pathetic if I tried to build live. Maybe. I'm just super rusty. It always takes me a while to get like to I don't do it for a living or anything. It's just like my code is like what, like 10, 15, probably 15 years old. CSS and HTML on FTP is my cocktail of web publishing, which I still love how like potent that is. Right?
It's so potent. It's insane.
It's incredible. Like you go buy a domain and now you can go talk to the world if you can get them to learn the URL.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then like maybe we set it up for building at a different time where you can build it on your own or whatever. But one thing we should do is try and get Josh to do it, because then it's going to be just fucking sexy. Just he can't do anything ugly. He's not capable. Like he's just really stylish. So it would be really cool if he did it for you.
Sounds amazing.
And if we set it up for him, then like as much as we can set up, I'm speaking for him. I just know he's chill and whatever. Give him a session for free. I keep telling him to set something up with you. I'm telling that to everybody.
What a hero. That's amazing.
Yeah, everybody get Hanjo in your life as a source of wisdom. So I'm just starting to fuck around here. How much of this is going to be us just starting to talk, and how much of this do you have like any notes? Do you have like a sitemap in mind? Do you have like 3 pages that you know you're going to want? Do you have a list of content, like books that you want to have as a list, like movies? I don't know.
Oh, I love that. That's an amazing idea. Yeah, so I guess
lay it on me a little bit, like fill my brain a bit with stuff that I could, like content, I guess, that if you have any.
So book a session. Book a coaching session. And I don't want it to be the main thing, but I want it to be a thing. Contact me, maybe like business contact. If they want to like book me on something or like I don't know, arrange something with me. And
Wait, I'm sorry. Book a session and then it was contact, right?
business. I was thinking like business contact and then like personal contact.
Well, I'll just type it out.
Yeah, and I like the idea a reading list. Reading list is a really fun idea. I'm not sure if it's gonna stay that way as an idea, but it seems like a nice start to something. It's like like media resource, like stuff you should read. It's like a fun or like consume. Yeah, that's fun.
Well, what did you have when you described it as a container for your cultural beings?
Yeah,
Like what do you have in mind? Like book a session isn't. I mean,
a loving
is that what
space in
is
my
that what that
culture.
means?
A loving
Is
space
that
in my
what like
culture beings. Book a session is it's but like energy coaching would be the being, right? It's my service culturally would be as an energy coach or as an energy, I don't know,
Right.
manager.
We fall into closer alignment. So business Hanjo is a being and personal Hanjo is a being. Maybe I don't mean as language, but like, is that
I would say there's enlightenment teacher Hanjo, and then energy coach Hanjo. And
right?
enlightenment teaching is like personal me. You could say, yeah, but it's still the cultural being, the way I present my personal my personality, like who I am, what I'm into on a personal level is as an enlightened being explaining enlightenment. So that'd be like
Um,
my Twitter
right. Enlightened
and like
Twitter,
my Instagram.
and then energy coach, and well, book a session is
Energy,
energy coach, right?
yeah, it is, yeah,
It would be the same.
yeah.
When you think about, part of what I'm trying to do is to just think about like a like an approach that will help guide the visuals and such. Like, what are the objects here? What is like the whatever. Um, so like the way that like the language you use was so specific that I'm just going to keep coming back to it unless you tell me to stop. But like a loving space to contain your cultural beings,
That's perfect.
like your cultural beings to me would be like distinct enough that we should be able to identify them and or like make sure that we're doing right by them. And in this case, like for instance, we just moved from me thinking that there were going to be three, where there was book a session, business, and then personal. But now I think it's going to be like two.
I love
So
this. Yeah.
so I think if we come to Hanjo website and it's like there's two Hanjos,
I love
does
this.
that seem right? Or do we
I
need to have or do they need to be like 10 or
just something that I'm following on from what you're saying. It's like let's make these actually beings. It's like one being is Zen Master, and the other being is Energy Wizard.
right? Yeah,
And
exactly.
those are beings. So they're two separate like things that have distinct personalities and like aspects to them, and they look different, and they like are like characters almost.
Yeah. So for instance, let's say like your avatar is let's just I don't know if that's one or the other necessarily. Is that one? Let me just ask you. Is your
Mm,
avatar because it's like energy work made out of friendly, loving intensity.
yeah, I would say the so this is interesting. Yeah, it's really interesting. So the heart is the container, the human container, the loving space. And then I think the eyes and then the white thing above it is the Zen master. And then I think the background energy is the energy stuff. Is the energy wizard, yeah.
Energy wizard versus enlightened. I'm
Zen
sorry, what?
master. Zen master, just Zen
Zen master.
master.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. And then
That's really interesting.
and I'm gonna blasphemy and turn these horizontal.
Wow.
Just to fill the. Actually, let's do. Actually, just saw a graphic yesterday that was a menorah, and it was like, take your menorah, rotate it 9 degrees, and you have the chakra.
Take your, what is it? Sorry, what's it called?
Do I have? Is it menorah? Isn't that it? The candles.
Menorah? I haven't heard of it. Menorah, candles.
Yeah, no, I got embarrassed. Just like, did I say it wrong? No, the menorah. Like
Menorah, that's it.
Yeah.
Oh wow, it's like chakras. That's amazing. I love that.
Yeah. Let me see if I can just pull it up. Yeah, here it is. It's not hard to find.
And I found it. I love it. That's great.
Turn the key to solve the mystery.
Oh, fun. That's wild. I mean, the menorahs that I'm looking up have more dots than the chakras, but no, you know what? Maybe you know, maybe.
I would be curious. I mean, the way I would check it is if the linear progression from like root to crown was followed by the linear progression on the menorah, even if it's not like linear, like left to right or anything.
What is the linear progression on the menorah? Do you know, or is it relevant, or is it
no? There is one.
Is there?
It's mapped to some story, but I wouldn't want to try and get the right one. Pretty sure.
There's probably something to that, you know.
What's up?
Okay, cool. Sorry, I was just looking it up. I was saying that there's probably something to that. That seems relevant. I think every progression is related to other progressions somehow.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't doubt it. I like if I seem. I mean, it is funny. Like turn the key, it's shit. It's funny, but it's also no. I'm super into this. This is like I would not be at all surprised if there was alignment. I sent you that hidden meanings guy, the hiddenmeanings.net or something, the guy with the crazy website when you started talking about doing your site again.
Yeah.
Like the endless scroll. But I love this guy. And his YouTube videos are phenomenal. Like with everyone, with any teacher, I guess they're going to get really repetitive after a while. And so he does. but yeah, no, I've learned a shit ton about Christ and Krishna is effectively the same story. He does this like phenomenal tie-in with the zodiac prophecy with shit that you read in the Bible that never made any sense before. He's great. He's this crazy syncretist from New Jersey.
Wild. And
I've been listening to him for like a few weeks now. I'm gonna try. He has a bunch of ebooks. I'm gonna try and buy them all if I can. But yeah, it's like this is you in the future, dude. Like, check this out. Like, if you look at his thing, I don't know if I sent this to you, so I'm sorry if this is redundant. But Bill Donahue is his name. Go to his playlist. So he had a church called the Community Christian Church or something like that. I think he's probably only recently retired. Most of the stuff is from the 90s. But you go to playlists and so he's like, these are recordings from like every Sunday. And he would be talking about this kind of thing, like the zodiac in the Bible, and like the entire Old Testament is symbolic, and you should be understanding the Old Testament as a version of the Hare Krishna. And all of this stuff has been taught for thousands of years, and no one is teaching you this. It's great. A lot of pineal gland stuff. I mean, he goes way overboard sometimes, but why wouldn't he? His Bhagavad Gita series has been really interesting. Yeah, no, these are playlists though, and they have like anywhere from like 5 to what? This one's got 60 videos on the human being. So this one's 60 on parallel worlds and quantum mechanics.
Yeah, I love this. I love this format. This is like almost like a universal format for like spiritual or enlightened beings, where they're like they've just done something in a public space and someone's recorded it and then it's uploaded somewhere. And that's kind of different to like a live stream or something.
Yeah, Pierre Grimes is another one that I love. That's very similar to this. I don't know if you've ever looked into him. He doesn't seem your style, but he's great for like Neoplatonic thought. Um, and he was my first entry to understanding the mysteries of the New Testament. Um, but he's got tons of lectures that are all just recorded by this Noetic Society, and then you go to his playlist, and it's the same thing. It's like they're probably the same themes that this other guy had, and then they've got tens. So this guy's got hundreds per playlist. Anyway, incredible, and you're one of these guys adding to the what is it, the cathedral.
The cathedral. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think I've got quite a sharp focus on enlightenment, which most people don't have. But hey,
right, but I don't know. That sounds to me like in group, or like when you're in the inside, it's hard. Well, like when you're on the inside, it's hard to see how like the differences to you are very clear between you and someone else. But from the outside, it's like, oh well, you're all just like these wise
people saying stuff.
Well, yeah, I mean, it takes a lot of knowledge to even understand the differences between what you're saying, because usually you wouldn't even be able to hear it. Like it would just be boring or stupid or weird or dumb or so. Yeah, I mean, it's like I think most of you people kind of just go into a class of like, I don't know, holy people, I guess.
Cool.
Nice work, man. Way to be.
Yeah, I think it's funny. It's just I reminded of UGK, where he was always like, you're gonna try and put me in a box, you can't. You try to do this, you can't. I don't fit in any boxes. I don't fit in society. Society hates me. It's like everyone wants to kill me. Yeah, which I don't know. I relate to that.
It's like UGK. I'm sorry, which one's that?
Oh, UG Krishnamurti. He's great.
Book a session. So we can have practical links while still identifying like two, assuming there's two beings, like we can keep their style. Like these look like two people basically, while still having some practical shit in the bottom. Like we can just do Twitter.
Twitter would be the Zen Master. Yeah. I think you're on it though.
Well, right, but what I mean is, I think just for the sake of having a website that's easy to use, like for instance, book a session is actually part of Energy Wizard, but we can still have book a session on the front page, even though technically it's like part of like meeting.
Oh, I see what you're saying now. Yeah. Oh, I guess
Twitter, Zen Master is Twitter, but we can still just jump you over to Twitter because it would be kind of obnoxious not to, or maybe it wouldn't be. Maybe we should keep it super clean. I'm just getting started on like it's funny, like the more detritus that you add to a design or a web page, the more real it looks. Like just add little
that's hilarious.
Little, like pieces of shit around, like little words, like some paragraphs, like a little copyright symbol. The more you do that, the more it's like, okay,
that's so true.
Well, that's why I think most design looks the way it does, because it's such a tempting way to get something done.
Yeah, so my conception here is if you like brought, so I hate to be a designer, but if you like, I hate to do this, but my thought was like Zen Master, and then below that is these kind of links like you're listing below, which would be like Zen Master, Twitter, Instagram, contact, and then Energy Wizard, book a session, like but business contact. And maybe that's just an insane thing to suggest. Yeah, no, I've done website design work, and I feel like I'm being a little bitch by like bringing up my ideas in like website design to like the guy who does design stuff.
No, so two things. One is I didn't really catch what you suggested. I think what you were saying was keep the groups grouped, which is if I'm doing it right, I think it's like something like this.
Exactly, yeah.
Where I don't know where media would go. I guess we'd go under Zen Master.
Media would go in Zen Master, yeah.
And then the second part is just you
complaining about myself, basically, yeah.
Yeah, well, right. So the only thing that I would find annoying is if you weren't interacting.
Mm-hmm.
Like I would much. I don't know how uncommon it is to be a designer who doesn't mind giving feedback, but I'm one of them. And people can push me. Like I'm not saying all feedback is always going to be welcome forever, but generally, like my default is that I want all of the feedback, and if I disagree or if I think it's bad, like that's fine. Like I'll just talk about it, or we'll just talk about it.
Fantastic.
And I no, this is your thing. Like it's like whatever. It's like Hegelian. Like let's do some synthesis. We're gonna go way faster, way further if we bounce off each other than if we like. It's like you're like, oh, you're the designer. I know I'm the designer. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Well, lay it on me. And if it gets annoying, or whatever. Don't worry about it.
Cool. Yeah, so I think Twitter, Instagram contact would be my Zen Master options, and then like book a session contact would be my Energy Wizard options. For like, in terms of like what's required. I love this so far.
All right, hold on. I'm gonna pause our conversation. I'm gonna pause us, and because I've been rude to. I did get some comments. So like, you read sci-fi. So Chris was talking about Anvil of Stars. He was getting back to the original sketches, I think, that you were making about composite beings, because now I don't think we actually use the word composite. We're using container, but composite makes sense. So he's saying there were composite beings that were comprised of smaller beings called braids. Braids. That sounds like a Greg Egan book. They could decompose into the constituent parts and be assembled to form councils to make major decisions.
It's a fun idea.
But that's what we are. It seems like I find like I hate the word egregore, and I don't like associating necessarily with just that version of what I think the space is really describing. But I find like the notion that we are aspects of large energy beings overlaid on top of each other is completely accurate. Like there's no way it's not true.
Yeah, we're also energy beings with like, it's just a scale thing. Like if you zoomed in on one of our beings inside of us, then we would be, these large energy beings.
Yeah. And that's why it's so right. Like it's like, oh yeah, that's how everything is.
Yeah.
But if you stop or like you don't see it at all, and it's like, no, I am my own person. Like I tried to talk about this at a table with like, it was just very interesting how defensive people will get, even broaching the topic about like them not having. The guy's like, there's no way that's true because I make all of my choices. Everything I do, I'm very deliberate.
That's amazing.
There's no way that's true. And it's like,
I would love to be that guy. The guy who thinks that he makes all of his choices and he's very deliberate. That's a hilarious person to chat to. And nothing against them. I mean that's genuinely. It's like
I know.
That's a cool way to live.
It sounds.
You think that's real?
No, I mean I agree completely. It sounds so comfortable, or like. I mean, I wonder.
It sounds like torture to me. It sounds awful.
No, well, it sounds like getting to turn off a massive part of my brain, which just sounds very comfortable. That's all I mean, really.
Oh,
it's like, I wouldn't have to second guess everything forever, because that sure sounds nice. I mean, all right. So this is all stand-in, basically. Like I don't know about. I mean, these are all stand-ins, but let's just maybe move forward for the sake of.
So I would love to have another contact under Zen Master, because I do want 2 separate contact pages and for them to be different. And it's like Energy Wizard is like the business contact, and then Zen Master is like the personal contact, and there's kind of different requirements for each.
Yeah, we should put like a heart emoji in front of this contact.
Oh, that's
like a
fun.
meditation emoji in front of that.
Oh, that's fun. I like that.
All right, and then Chris said all-time best personal sites, Jeff Bridges. Let's see, and then S55H. So he's just throwing out they're just throwing out a random idea here. I think most media resource pages that I've seen on other websites end up being static lists of books, videos, etc. Adding interactivity to such a page would personally motivate me to actually read the resources, like an audio video snippet of your thoughts on each book, or something like Amazon's Read the Insight feature, where instead of displaying the book's content, you could display your notes. Yeah.
That's a fun idea. I like that.
Yeah, it'd be cool if you had a video about the shit that influenced you or the things that you think people should pick up. Huh.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind giving a little explanation for what each one is useful for and like when you should read it and get it.
This Jeff Bridges thing is mesmerizing. I wonder what that did he do that? Looks like he probably did, given the styles and shit here. How cool. All right. So we got your two contacts. I don't know how, I mean, these will probably be like, we don't have any music going.
I've noticed it was very quiet then too.
That's weird for both of us.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, so
You know, there might be another being here,
oh yeah,
which is
nice.
like scientist. You know, I've gonna complete a PhD in artificial intelligence soon, and I've created like I'm in the process of creating a few different tools which are like useful for spirituality. Like one being the meta website, and another being uh this like a sutra search, like searching through the Buddhist sutras using some AI. And I'm thinking, you know, where would I place these? And I think it might be a different being. It's like the scientist.
Um,
And I think I'm gonna
yeah.
start calling myself Dr. Hanjo Jaku on Twitter. So when I get the
Uh,
PhD.
that's sick. That's awesome. The you brought up the thing that you had brought up before, which was I think the matas, or what was the word that you used?
Meta.website. It's actually it's online. It's half done, but it's online.
So this is what I was asking about. So what is
Oh,
meta dot
Meta.website. Meta with two T's, yeah.
uh, so,
Um
uh,
so like this is half done, but the idea is you'd be able to customize the text here. And when you press send, it like sends you're like sending the meta prayer. So like normally with meta, you think through these things. You think may everyone be happy. You think may everyone have a nice day. May everyone feel good. May everyone be. So then like yeah with a meta website, um yeah you can send those things by clicking send. And it like it makes it kind of formalizes this relationship between like oh no it goes to my old Twitter formalizes the relationship between um like doing meta stuff isn't just thinking something, it's like sending something out into the world. Yeah, and it's like a tool to help you do that. And I was thinking, you know, if you can link up the energy feeling of sending a meta to pressing the send button, then you could do it a lot faster. Yeah.
if you can link up an energy beam to it, it'll go a lot faster. Is
Yeah,
that
yeah,
what you
so
just?
it's an energy feeling. So it's like you
Oh,
like to think through like a meta, you have to think like may all beings be happy. But like if you could just press send instead, that's a lot faster.
right.
Yeah.
Cool. Uh, it's like the pizza button for um, spirit.
Yeah. There's
Hit
the
button,
pizza
get
button.
pizza. Oh, it's like a I don't know, like touch button, get pizza. Like there was a
Oh fun.
to me that's just kind of a cliche, but I think also it's like a there was at least one app that did it really well where you would like I don't know how many steps they got it down to, but it was something like you would open the app. I'm sure you had to pre-program it with your address or whatever, but you would open the app. There was a big button. You tap it, and then you just get pizza.
That's great.
I guess quickly is it would, whatever. What are those called? What were those called in the Catholic times where you would pay for like a prayer, or you could like have it was like removal of sin for a certain amount, or like time out of purgatory or something like that.
I know what you mean,
Um,
but I can't remember what it is. I
so
have heard of this though.
I think Luther, like part of why Martin Luther did what he did was because of him. It was just like a super corrupt system where the church was just getting paid to like wipe out karma or whatever.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, I remember this.
They have a cool name.
It's a good sign a religion's gone wrong is when you just give them money and then they're like, "You're good now."
All right, so Dr. Hanjo,
I'm thinking scientist. For
just scientist.
scientist, yeah. This is like Zen Master Hanjo, energy wizard Hanjo, scientist Hanjo.
Oh, well, I'm talking. So I'm talking persona names here. We've got Zen Master, Energy Wizard, and Scientist Hanjo.
Well, these are all Hanjos.
But I don't have the word Hanjo in them.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. It's just scientist.
Okay, so scientist. That's what. So
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
that's scientist. That's cool. I like it.
Cool.
Or like the scientist maybe. Like to me, it jumps to like anime or something. It seems very like. I didn't. You know, it's funny. I was talking to someone and they were sharing a bunch of what was it? It was like I guess it was I think it was Korean pop, but it was like I don't know, but it was super self-aware. It was so smart. It was like all of the cliches that you could think about within whatever space it was were completely known by multiple songs within the space where they were basically just like one of them was really neat. It was like an AI generated song or like AI generated character uh and the song was about how she couldn't get out from behind the screen to fall in love with anyone real. And it was really genuinely sad because it sounded like what you would expect a computer language to like that became self-aware to describe what that was like if they lived alone uh, in a world of humans. I was like, wow, that kind of sucked, man.
I relate. Yeah.
That can't be true. Didn't you say that Twitter was all you enlightened folks were? Well, that's I guess that was a question actually I wanted to ask you sometime. Was
Mhm.
I think the implication. I forget what you had said. It was like I was missing. I forgot if you had said that it would have already happened, or if Twitter was facilitating a certain kind of meeting. Whereas, like, let's say that there's plenty of people in the world that are enlightened or able to access certain states of mind that others can't, and that allows for certain types of communication that others don't have. In which case, it just like Twitter seems interesting because it's allowing for certain enlightened states or enlightened people to come into contact with each other potentially. Seems clear. But then also, did those people? The question then for me becomes: did those people need Twitter? Like, if you're already in like the astral plane or whatever the equivalent that is like a real person knows, do you need something like tech to have met these cool people? And maybe now it's just like with Twitter, you actually get to see them in carnal space as well. Whereas before, you could have only seen them in like energy space or something. It's like, hey, I get like, what's your like? You get to ask like an angel like what their Twitter handle is, and like how now you get to go talk. It's like, hey, let's go get coffee sometime. Whereas before, it was like, oh, well, I'll meet you someday in another, another lifetime or whatever.
Yeah, all of that was extremely true. That's just all extremely true.
Nice. I just nailed it.
Mm.
Well, all right. I guess okay.
And I'm starting to think that maybe scientist isn't the right word here, but I'm not sure what word I'd want to use. It's like
Doctor.
doctor. Thing is, I'm not sure if I'm going to be doing many scientific publications. But I'm probably going to be making tools which will benefit people in many different ways. So I'm just not sure how to categorize, like, what being is that? What cultural being is that that's making tools to benefit people? using like Buddhist resources.
Well, it's not like all of your beings or personas need to like update. They don't have to behave the same way. Like your Zen master is going to be more active on Twitter than Energy Wizard inherently. Um, Zen master
Yeah.
doesn't take money, like, and like scientists, maybe you publish two things, maybe you publish one thing every 10 years. Like who gives a shit? That's your scientist.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't worry necessarily about maintaining it or
That's a good point, actually. Yeah, it doesn't have to be active. I like that. That's really cool. I really like that, actually. Like this idea that like these are beings that are going to be maybe, maybe more active or less active, and it's okay for them to be a certain level of activity culturally. And maybe it'd be later, maybe it'd be sooner. Yeah, like the wide scale view of like a long amount of time.
mm,
Yeah, so maybe like tools and publications are options here for the scientist. Ooh, I love that. That's really beautiful. What you've done there.
I'm sorry, tools and publications, is that it?
Yeah, like tools, publications. Oh, I love this. This is great. Oh, you know what? You know what? You're right. I was completely wrong. This is great.
What
I
happened?
was basically like not sure about it, and you were like, "No, it's good." I agree with you. It is good.
About having scientists?
Yeah.
Oh, well,
The scientist. I love it. I love being the. That's fun. That's really fun. I love how anime this is. It's really great.
yeah, it feels animated to me.
Yeah, this is really interesting.
Um,
Indulgences, S55H says. That's what it is. Huh.
Thank you. S5.
What is five? It's S, right? In lit speak. Shh, say shh.
Right, I was like, would you just, is that just shush?
Yeah.
You kind of actually. Um, all right. So I had started to do an actual page. I guess this is still accurate. So this is like this thing on the right that,
Yeah.
and I've now stepped into Zen Master.
Beautiful. This typeface is really beautiful, huh? This one we're using.
Yeah, this is Druck. It's awesome. It's awesome.
It is.
This is super. Let me see. Yeah, medium is.
Oh, I really liked the big one.
I don't. Well, it depends on how we build this and what you build it through or whatever. Certainly, Druck has a web font equivalent. What it costs, I'm not sure. It's probably not cheap. I think what more likely to happen, or what would, we'll see what you think, or like how much you care. Like it's your call. There will be generic equivalents, and they won't be quite as good, but they will be free or
Okay.
close to it. So we can find those too. Yeah. So prepare yourself for either money or disappointment slightly.
Okay.
Or sometimes you find one that you really love. Well, it depends a little bit on how we do this. So for instance, we could actually okay, like all of this big shit on the left and the right could all be an image. Like we could just like old web it. There's no reason that this has to be interactive type.
Oh yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, that's a great idea.
We could just do banner fucking images. Like why not? And then your small type like Twitter, Instagram media, that could be the generic version of that wide font.
Sounds amazing. Super dope.
We could do that for sure. I love doing fucking like a JPEG piece of shit.
I would love a big JPEG piece of shit. That sounds great.
Yeah, there's just no reason. You should have quotes, and they should literally just be images. Like they're not even
the worst SEO website ever. No text.
We'll build it with tables.
With tables is all images. Sounds great. What do you be? Working at 96. That's a positive.
All right. Let me zoom out here. So I think then we've got a good structure. All of the
Wait,
aesthetics.
wait, could you drag that again? That kind of looks like a head, right? That kind of looks like a head, like the.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool.
You mean, whoa. As soon as I let go, it's going to disappear. Oh, no, it doesn't. You
Yeah,
mean this over here?
yeah,
Or maybe kind of in here.
yeah. That one at the top. It looks like a neck and a head.
Yeah, it does.
That's wild.
Well, I mean, it makes sense, kind of. We were doing a neck and a head. Like this is literally a neck and the crown and the third eye.
Yeah,
So
it's so strange that like it actually looks like really good as like a neck and a head. I'm gonna yeah, that's interesting. But only when scroll down. I guess you did make the bottom part smaller. Yeah,
well, I think it's actually the crown that's larger.
larger. Right.
Yeah, and then
Interesting.
the bottom, the heart chakra, I think is the furthest from the group, and so it looks thinner or smaller.
Huh.
Um, we'll pull him back in for we'll pull them back in for the energy wizard page.
It's like the hidden meaning of the logo.
Nice. Yeah, the arrow, the FedEx arrow in your logo is that the whole thing is a human skull.
Yeah.
There's a memento mori built into my logo. So I think then the question what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna break this into 3 separate pages, one for scientists, one for energy, one for Zen. And then I'm not sure what those pages will be or like what's on them, but I think by virtue of adding stuff to them through talking about it, we will figure that out. We'll figure out a layout that we know we can build, depending on what you want. So we've got, so I'm cheating, right? This looks too stylish because I've got this browser mock-up that's all colored, which I need to stop doing. Make this ugly. Better. This one. All right, hold on. I'm tired of quiet. I like your meta thing. Very
Thanks.
interesting.
Yeah, I gotta finish working on it, but yeah, it's gonna be great.
Well, once you've explained it, it becomes kind of like a punk thing a little bit, or like it's like a form of insight, or it's just interesting. Like it'll be interesting to see how or if you're able to explain what's going on. You know, like why does this need to exist, or what is this different than just doing it in your own head or whatever.
Yeah, and I think the big thing with these tools that I'm making,
button is easier. It's funny.
yeah, I'm kind of making it for myself. It's like, what would I like? How would I like to do meta practice? Well, I would love to just fucking slam a button over and over and like just like build up and it's like a way to, do it without needing discipline. Basically, it's like, yeah, how can I like blast meta to all beings and just by pressing a button over and over? It's a great question to answer. If you look at like the HTML of that website as well, I've like done all the HTML very intentionally with different particular names that like set it all up so that it's a like universal energy manager. It's fun.
Nice. You've written some law.
I've written some nice HTML describing.
Well, like scripture, you know, like
my HTML scripture. Yeah, kind of.
Like
yeah, kind of.
No, I mean, really, like you're putting out logos, you know. It's like wall, and like these words are like very well chosen, and like you're pushing them out with energy, and like it makes me think of like a word of God shit.
Yeah, it's true. It's really interesting, actually. Like the digital, like enlightening the internet, kind of through HTML teachings.
Interesting. That's like a funny or like a sci-fi story of like, you know, the Elon Musk, Nick Land, whatever terror of like the singularity is coming, the AI is going to destroy us all. We are sheep to the wolf of the oncoming intelligence. It would be really funny if one of the solutions to that was to start soaking the internet with like love and like
Yeah.
all code with code emanations start just like pouring loving energy into it as in anticipation of it being born.
Yeah, rewrite all the code so that it like communicates that love and caring for things as they are is like a good thing for like the AI, and then it'd be like like its substrate would be love, and then that's the
Right.
ideal case for the AI, and it'd be like better than humans then because we have to work pretty hard to do that.
Well, like a funny story, or it would be a funny story. Like some guy hacks into Google, doesn't do anything, except installs like a meta auto broadcaster to all of Google code.
I've been thinking about doing stuff like that.
Nice.
Just like like the meta website thing, but like every time someone sends it, I just like ping like a bunch of websites with their meta, and it's a way like spreading meta digitally. I'm thinking about it, yeah.
You need what you need is like a meta transponder system, like get people to sign up to like retweet.
Oh my god, that's fun. Yeah, actually, it was gonna everyone was gonna repost onto Twitter after they send it.
Yeah. Mr. Glasses. What would an anime call a scientist? It's probably this. I mean, the scientist isn't
Creator.
Right.
Oh, I like creator. It's fun. Let's put it as creator. I love it. That's really fun. I love creator as the name for it. As a distinct thing from the other two, it's a really funny. It's like the other things aren't being the creator, but no, it's the creator. Oh, the creator. No, that's too. It's too gaudy. It's too gaudy. I like creator, yeah.
Father. Well, it makes me think of like Astro Boy or something, you know? It's like the scientist leaning over the lab table. Frankenstein.
Yeah, if we can imply like a sciencey vibe on creator, that'd be great.
Yeah, I don't know, man. We'll do like an atomic logo for that one or something.
I love that. Yeah, like a scientist, but we're calling it the anime name, but it's also more accurate. But we also want to indicate the science. It's like a fun frame.
Oh god, I wonder if Chris is still watching. This guy that I used to work with, who's on this feed potentially. Wait, I hadn't thought of this in a long time. So we used to do. I still do like fake brands, like just fuck around with like parodies and shit. And we used to do this with him. And one of them was called Round Eye, and it was Roundai. I'm gonna get this wrong, but it was supposed to be like Bandai, the games company, and it was supposed to be it was an Asian company making fun of Caucasians, and so it's called Round Eye, and it was gonna be like, I don't know what we were thinking, like action heroes or some shit of like that made fun of how Caucasians looked, but in like like army men or whatever. But yeah, and then it was mostly just to. I think mostly we just wanted to put the letters in the form and then just like say it in our heads. So it's like Round Eye or whatever. And then I think also what we did then was it was a Chris is gonna come in maybe and remind and correct me, but I think it was a band. We like did a fake band with it because then we did CD packaging for Round Eye. That's right. That's funny. Those were pretty good actually. We did CD packaging for Round Eye. We made it a band that was Asian. I forget what, like Japanese probably. Whatever, I'll stop talking. But it was that kind of back and forth. I love that shit. How many ways can you fuck with something and still have it be for a good reason?
Round Eye, that's hilarious. I just got the joke.
I'd look it up, but I don't have that.
Round eye instead of band eye, and it's making fun of white people. That's amazing.
Thank you. I'm glad it landed.
Yeah,
somewhere.
I was like, I was doing some brain shit, some enlightenment stuff. So I was mildly distracted, but I came out of the meditation and then I realized the joke.
You rewound. That's cool. Yeah.
I love this. That energy wizard page looks amazing. Oh, you know what? You know what I like here is the idea of redundancy. I actually like repeating Twitter, Instagram media, and like it linking to maybe to the other page or like to my normal Twitter, and not having a separate Twitter, and kind of implying this kind of fractal nature to the beings. It's like, yeah, it's like these are separate beings, but they're also not separate beings. It's kind of fractal, and they're kind of interlinking in this interesting way.
You know what we can do? This is what we should do. We just need to have all of the beans on all of the pages.
Oh, I love that. That's great.
Your footer is the other thumbnails that aren't that page.
I love that.
And then we can have, like you said, we can have the Twitter, Instagram stuff on there as well.
I love that. What if every page linked to every other page?
Yeah. And that is a true description of the system anyway. We're trying to do containers of container shit. So
exactly, yeah.
Having each thing be its own container is cool.
Yeah, but also it not being separate is fun too. It's like the kind of the normie view. Sorry, I hate to use the N word. I don't mean it like that. The normie word.
Leave my people alone.
It's so like the normie view would be like, you know, let's separate out the things that we do, and then like this is this thing, and it's different from this thing, and it's different from this thing. But the truth is, these things aren't really distinct. They're not really distinct. It's like, sure. When I'm being a Zen master, I'm using my energy wizard stuff, and I'm using my scientist stuff too, my creative stuff, like all the drawing stuff is all that. Being able to draw concepts and accurately describe them, that's all related. So sure. It's like, yeah, somehow emphasizing the fractal nature of the interactions between these things and how they're containers for containers, and the container they're in is a container for other, is within a container, and also they're all interdependent. So they're all interdependent. It's fun. I like that.
What we need is a border around the whole thing all the time, just to imply that there's always one.
Yeah, it's in like space. The whole website's in space all the time.
You click the border and it takes you to porn.
It just takes you to like an interactive space. Like you can just scroll through like.
Right.
takes you to like a Nyan cat or something.
Right.
You know, what's like the center of the internet? The bigger being of the internet, you know?
Right. Good question.
Takes you to Google. Ooh. Takes you to a Google search of the website.
A Google search for Hanjo would be cool, maybe.
Yeah, of my name, maybe.
I mean, that would actually be a literal description of the intended effect, I guess.
It's a fun one.
Execution, I guess.
Yeah, then when they're on Google, they can just go to Google, and it's like, it all makes sense.
He was there all along.
He's in Google, the cultural being. It's other cultural beings. I'm gonna grab a drink.
Yeah, when you come back, I'm gonna do the same. Huh, pretty cool. Trying to write a tweet.
Hello.
Hello. I'm taking your picture.
Oh, lovely. Hello, Chandler Freeman. What is the brand for? Chandler asks. It's for me. It's for my personal website.
I'm trying to figure out how to write this. Plug your website design for Alright. Oh, I should do this from pre-brand, shouldn't I? Doop. Damn it. I haven't. Oh man, I lost my screenshot. I gotta do another screenshot of you.
Hmm.
Hanjo Yutaku. Designing a brand website for Hanjo to describe the treatment. When I say it this way, it seems weird. It seems like I'm being.
Maybe I could have a look.
Well, I'm saying designing a brand website for Hanji Otaku to help describe their truth as multiple beings. That's one way I've written it, which expresses their multiple beings. But the thing about making this about you is like it makes it seem as like you're the one with these things, as opposed to this just being a statement.
Can I have a look at the text? Could you show it on the share screen? Maybe?
Oh yeah, sure. Might be.
Uh,
I got this one.
maybe you could just say designing a brand website for Hanji Otaku, a loving space for their cultural beings.
Great.
Beautiful. That's so beautiful.
That is cool. All right.
Oh, fun.
Colors got sapped out. That's lame.
Yeah, I hate that Twitter ruins pictures. So the brand is you, like a business card but a website. The brand is me, and I sell coaching, and I have a Twitter and an Instagram, and I also make websites or tools for people, and I also have scientific publications. But it's kind of like a business card but a website, yeah, but it's also useful and good.
Well, you have people talking to you, huh?
I have one person in my chat, and I appreciate them being there.
Nice. I got about the same. What do I have? I got 3 people watching. What's up? What's up?
And hello, the infinite beings in the future that will be the VOD.
Yeah. Or all the infinite beings currently watching, huh?
Oh, I would love. Good one. I would love a link on this website to the pre-brand stream where the website was made.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Watch me be born.
Yeah.
Actually, that's what you would get to if you click the border. Like that's the most.
I love that. That's great.
Watch this egg be hatched.
Yeah, maybe a little egg, like an Easter egg.
All right. Oh yeah, sure, that'd be cute. Let me just do that as a little note. You'll have this though, won't you?
Yeah, I have my video of it. Yeah. If I have faith in my own video of it being good enough.
Well, worst case, I'm just saying. You don't know me well enough to know how much of a putz I am. Or let's say maybe the degree to which I am capable.
You have depths of klutzness that I have not witnessed.
Yeah, but putzitude. Oh, you know what I haven't done?
I love that Easter egg being there. I love that. That's amazing.
I have not saved. That would have been tragic.
Oh, that's a nice little. I'm glad that's happened.
So, wow, your stream is way delayed. You just sat down.
Oh, that's crazy. That is very delayed.
Holy shit.
Shouldn't be that delayed. That's odd.
Well, I don't know. Maybe it's something to do with the fact that I'm watching it. Let me close it. It's probably not helping my speed. I'm thinking about content. I would say what we're doing right now is like we're kind of like working around the edges. If this was like sculpture or like clay or something, you would kind of just be like putting the shape kind of generally together how you want it, and then I'm not a sculptor. I don't know how you I don't know how you increase in resolution over time. You probably switch up on your tools that you're using. But in this case, like we can kind of just keep massaging, like like some of the stuff you were just talking about of getting the links consistent or getting the Easter egg on each one of them. There's also just shit like
So what I would
colors.
like would be a summary where I can write what that thing is. So like, what is Hanjo Yotaku Zen Master? What is Hanjo Yotaku Creator? What is Hanjo Yotaku Energy Wizard?
You would like a place within. You mean you want a place in the design for that kind of?
Yeah, we were talking about adding specific details, and I was thinking, okay,
Right. Okay. Sure.
here's a detail.
So we've got. So you're speaking generically to the content of each page. So
I'm thinking this might even be like a full introduction of like, I was enlightened on the 14th of November at 11:42. And like, this is what I want to do with that. This is why it matters. But who knows?
Is that I just listed that as a distinct description than like a page specific description. A page could have both, but maybe you describing scientist or I'm sorry, creator.
Oh, I like the idea of having a bio for each. Yeah, I wouldn't mind like a bio for each thing.
Right. So I was thinking it's like, what is Hanjo, and then it's like maybe on the front page is where you give what you just described as your story, your testimony or whatever, and then when you got into Energy Wizard, because it would be like someone who comes to this page is probably going to be interested in you. They're not going to want to read the same story 3 times from 3 different angles, even if you did rewrite it 3 ways.
Like, I think they would like that actually.
Well, sure, that's true. I mean, I guess if it was well done, that sounds pretty rad. Like talking about it scientifically, talking about it.
That's that's what I was thinking. It's maybe there's a main bio, which is putting them all together, and that's on the main page. And then there's a bio for the loving space, and then a bio for the enlightenment, and then a bio for the energy wizard. And I wouldn't mind if those, and then a bio for the creator.
You're gonna have to say those again.
All I'm thinking is a bio button on all of these pages. And they're all different.
That's going to be hecka confusing.
Yeah.
Well, like a button. I mean, because if a button, you would expect it to take you somewhere. And if it's going to take you somewhere, you would expect it to take you to the same place. I would imagine, I mean, it's okay for it to be confusing. I guess that's not necessarily a problem.
Yeah, I want it to be different for each one. Maybe the button can look different.
But it doesn't have to be a button, though. Like, why wouldn't you just have the bio on the page? Like, why does it have to be something else?
Yeah, that's a fun idea. I like it being on the page, too. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Because I would have, like, where I was about to put it, which I think would still work. Yeah, actually, this would be funny. This is almost like a movie intro or something. It's like, big, bold statement of your name, and then little introduction of what that is, and then another big, bold statement of whatever you can do with that name. That doesn't necessarily make any sense. It's just like, imagine like movie posters. They've got like a giant title and then like tiny information underneath it, and then like another big image is usually how that kind of balance plays out.
Sorry, my phone ran out of battery and I was using my phone for a webcam.
Oh.
So my webcam is now only active on my live stream and not here. So what I could do is remove it from my live stream maybe and put it up in the Zoom.
I don't care. Whatever you want to do.
Deactivate.
I mean, I guess for future posterity, it would be less good to not have your face. But
yeah, it's okay. No, it's fun. Let's keep it like this.
It's for yours too.
Yeah, no, I'm. This is great. Yeah, I have the same idea as you here.
Word. we didn't have a bio on the front page. This could be cool. It's like the introduction to the personalities.
Oh, that's fun. Yeah.
Maybe. I liked how punchy it was, but this doesn't seem to be affecting it too much.
Yeah, it's still pretty punchy.
Well, you know, this is all just obviously this is crazy, just sketched in. It'll change character quite a bit once we get actual text in, actual length, actual type, that kind of shit. I don't know how long I'm going to go either.
Yeah.
I have my kids on the weekend, so I'm not exactly coming out of the weekend. But we can do this again too. So I mean, like, it would be I don't know what you had in mind. I didn't either in terms of what I thought, how far or what I thought we might get done. As I'm looking at this, one thing I know that can and will or could or whatever happen is, like, again, this is all pretty sketched. All of this can get better. And also all of this is going to need actual content. And so one thing that we could do is to continue to get good structure in place so that we know what we want to get done for the next time we do this.
Yeah. I feel like the things that we have to get done aren't gonna be that much, to be honest. I feel like I could even write it right now if we wanted to. But I'm open to also, you know, if you want to take a break and then we can come back with all the content and stuff, that would be good too.
Well, why don't well, okay, so here's a question.
So I would like reviews on the Energy Wizard page.
Oh, right, you got all those great reviews. Cool.
Yeah. Oh, I should ask you for a review sometime. That'd be nice.
Yeah. Piece of cake.
Lovely. This is beautiful. I love the way this is coming together. Yeah, there's something in me which wants the interdependence to be a little bit more explicit. And like the way that I'm imagining that is that somehow maybe I could do it, maybe I could do a sketch, and maybe this is maybe I could do a sketch.
I'm sorry, what did you say, the interdependence?
Yeah. Could you give me host? I have just an idea, and it's just a visual idea, and it's just hard to say it. It's a lot easier to.
I think. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Oh wait, hold on. Wait. That's weird. It's on my bra. Here, do it again.
Oh, sure.
Oh, I'm sorry. I've got it.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, so at the moment it's like button, 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 button. And then this is like 1, and this is 2 and 3. This is 2, and this is 1 and 3, and this is 3. This is 1 and 2. And what I'm thinking is it would be cool if somehow it was implied that they're bordering each other, and they're not completely separate. So like here would be 2, and here would be 3 visually. Here would be 1, and here would be 3 visually. Here would be 1, and here would be 2. So they're kind of like folding into each other in like a interdependent way, where it's like you're never really wholly in one or wholly in another. And the way that I would imagine this being done is if 3 was like the energy thing, there'd be like energy stuff in the corner here. And if 1 was like the scientist thing, there'd be like, you know, white stuff in the corner here. And let's say 2 is the purple thing. Let's say there'd be purple stuff here.
Mm-hmm.
And there would be, I don't know, white stuff here. Whatever 2 was. The Zen Master stuff here.
Yeah. You want spongier borders.
I'm gonna do some color because maybe I'm So like so like yellow is the energy thing. To his Zen master, let's say, even though that's not the case. Yeah, and then we got scientist, which is 1. And you see, like that this way, it looks more like it's more interdependent and more like fractal. It's like they're all related. They're all related. Like they're not fully separate. I guess you could show your thing again.
Yeah, yeah. Word.
And that was just my idea of doing it, but it's an idea I've had for a while, which is like these things are like when that being is being inhabited, the other beings are still there in that being now. So like when you're Zen Master Hanjo, there's still Energy Wizard Hanjo in you, and there's still Creator Hanjo in you, but they're in that being now. Is this making sense?
It does. Check out this designer. She's fantastic. A lot of Neiman and.
Could you share your screen again on Zoom? Sorry,
Oh.
I hate to.
Maybe. Oh yeah, maybe host.
Oh yep. Yeah. Sorry. There you go.
We're getting there.
Ooh, look at this.
So yeah, but check this out. What? So there's always the left and the right are always the pages.
Yeah. This is the kind of thing I was thinking.
Super nice. Yeah, if I could build this, I wouldn't be a designer.
Yeah, so that's why I'm thinking maybe we just put some JPEGs in the corners.
Well, I mean,
yeah, no, I like it being on the left and right. Actually, now that you've put it to my attention, I wouldn't mind like a big bar on the left. You know, like 1/5 of the page being like the other ones on the left and right.
Mm. Yeah, word. I mean, just for what it's worth, you're gonna get this effect. I mean, I guess you want your aesthetic to match. You want your aesthetic to be as in line as possible with what you're trying to express. So this is fair. I'm just thinking like you're already going to be 3 personas in a single website. So like what you're trying to express is already going to come through, but we can still, there's no reason we can't be more explicit about it too. So
yeah, this is like almost an extra layer of teaching, which is like, even when you're one of these things, the other two are still there, but now they're like the lesser beings. You know, it's like if there's one being which is larger and like possessing the space more, taking up more of the space, the other two are still in the space.
It would maybe be neat. Well, actually, no, it wouldn't.
What would be neat?
Well, I was gonna say it would be cool if they kept their order. Like if creators stayed at the, if it was like they were in the same actual space, so that when you clicked into one, you weren't really clicking into it. You were like, it was like zooming out, and then if one was below it, it would stay below it. If one was above it, it would stay above it. But I don't like that because it's linear. Because it's not like creator is actually two down from Zen Master, let's say. Whereas like this dynamic version, they can be dynamic.
Yeah, I like the dynamic actually. Yeah, I think you're right to point to that more.
I mean, I can start. You've taken a simple thing and you've made it complicated in terms of how I'm going to be thinking through this, like how we would maybe be building it, or it doesn't really matter. But we weren't in the space of restructuring the aesthetic. Let's say we were, in my mind, we were in the space of trying to fill in content.
Yeah.
And before I jump in to start doing like diagonal corner shit, I'm wondering if it's fine. I'm just gonna follow the vibe. So I think what I'm I think I can.
So do you think it'd be better to fill in the content first, then rather than alter the aesthetic? Do you think we don't have time or something?
I don't know. I have no opinions.
Okay. Yeah, I think there's a level of interdependence which I want to convey somehow here, and like a fractal kind of vibe of these beings, where like they're not like here, even though they're linked in, you know, they're still separate, but they're not really separate. Something which implies that non-separateness would be nice.
Oh wait, we're doing left and right, aren't we? So that's not too bad.
And like our idea of like how to do it may not be the right way, but it might be the right way. I don't know.
Nah, no worries. I don't know. I'm experiencing some sort of friction that doesn't need to be given any attention. Or I was, and now I'm past it.
Oh, cool. Oh, this is great.
This is great. I had a website that was just like this. It never, well, actually it did get built, but it's funny. It got canceled. It was like, by canceled, I mean like politically. I did an interview site called Varsity Bookmarking.
Holy shit.
It was great.
I love this, by the way.
Yeah, no, this is gonna look great. I could have told you this. Once you said left and right, I was like, oh yeah, shit. Because what's going to be cool is the energy field one. When you crop it into a tight vertical, it's going to look really neat.
Sorry, you're talking about your interview.
No, that's fine. Yeah, no, it was an interview magazine, but you could only answer a URL, so it was neat. So it'd ask you a question like, "Where are you from?" But you could only answer with a URL.
Oh, wow.
Or like, how are you feeling today? Or what have been your greatest teachers? Like, it was cool. And the idea was that it was literally supposed to be a great link generator. Like, how can we extract great links from people? And so I came out with this magazine that it was built by this developer that I was working with, and it was a labor of love, and I fucked up by the first 10 people that were interviewed were all men. And the moment I launched it, that was pointed out to me very clearly by a lot of people.
Wow.
I just totally lost all interest in working on it anymore. And the developer kind of the same.
That's amazing.
It took all the wind out of the sails.
You had this amazing idea and got cancelled. That's terrible.
Well, it wasn't the end of the idea, because I had already been doing it for a while. I actually might even still be up. I'm curious. But it was like supposed to be like the big version of it that was gonna, because since the format was so simple, it could be platformized. Like, anyone could take the interview, and that's what it was. It became a magazine that anyone could add a page to, and everyone's interview was a single page, and every page was just a great list of links. Yeah, here we go. This is the first version. Peter Mendelssohn is a designer. I love book cover designer. So yeah, how you feeling today? Where you live? Google Maps.
Oh wow, cool. This is great.
What books or movies have been formative? Seven Samurai, 8.5. That's cool. I have a thing with URLs. I think I have another site that's, whenever I see a site that really stops me, I add it to day records, which is literally just a giant list.
Wow, I love this. Yeah, I love this style as well, the way it's just HTML.
Yeah. Mine's hardcore. It doesn't even have if you look at the code, it doesn't even have HTML declarations.
That's the kind of thing that I want to. I'm making something similar, and I want to keep that kind of aesthetic, like that just HTML kind of look. I think it has something cool to it. Like Wikipedia has it, and it looks good.
Craigslist. Yeah, I think a lot of the trick is to just actually be bad at it, or build it with bad tools.
Yeah. Don't even allow yourself like CSS and see what you can do.
Yeah, or like, if you build it with Webflow or Squaresite and you try and make it look like an HTML site, it's gonna look like shit because it's a false surface,
Yeah.
Don't do that. I don't know what the aesthetic of the scientist is. What I did on this one, kind of by accident, that I think worked was that it kind of looks like, to me, it looks like a microscope or something. Like you're looking at Creator through, like it's got like, what's that called? Like the depth of field. There's a more extreme version of this, but it looks to me like you're looking at it through a telescope or a microscope. It's got like the fuzzy edges of like an old vintage science slide or some shit.
Yeah.
Whereas when I get it to the edge here, it's becoming pure gradient, which is also like cool. I mean, the initial gut for the aesthetic was just like cold mechanical.
Yeah, I relate to that.
But I don't know if that's necessarily going to hold up.
Yeah, there's something which is missing when it's just a gradient like that.
I mean, it's got a gradient. It's just
maybe the other way.
Maybe, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean like horizontal.
Well,
I think
it's gonna look like a pipe.
Maybe a pipe. I like it as a pipe.
Color.
Yeah, I like
That's
that.
Cool. The other way.
I like that. I like that a lot.
Yeah. Very old web, somehow.
Yeah.
And then for the, yeah, that's kind of a problem. This thing's fucking huge. The problem is I took your logo and I just made it massive to get this background. Yeah. And now it's too big. Like my artboard's getting mad at me.
Right.
That's a publishing right now. Thank you, Vectors.
Vectors are amazing.
Vectors are just phenomenal. What a cool medium to get to work in.
Yeah.
So I guess it would be like on a Zen Master page. This isn't really working the way I want it to anyway. What do you think? Wow, this is really annoying to work with. Come on, friend.
Maybe you could just do bars. You know what? I'll let you do it.
I just don't understand. Oh. I'm not sure why it's being so difficult. It shouldn't be quite like this. Something's up, which is making me want to keep doing it. Until I've made it mine. What were you going to say, though?
I was just thinking a simplified version where it's just the colors, but it loses. I think it would lose something, and I'm not sure. I think I was just trying to solve your problem, but it didn't need to be solved, and yeah, it's probably better if it's done properly.
Well, I think we're going to see the shortcomings of this background here pretty soon, but that is it. That's just because I haven't got to the effort of building it properly yet. Oops. Sure, why not? And then and then it will be this guy. Yeah, nice. That'll be weird as hell.
I love this. This is amazing.
This is like crazy temple vibes. Yeah, and then you can literally just click them to go to that section. 100%. Why I just said it that way? Cool. Do we have all three? We did. Did I fuck it up? That's weird. Maybe I stole it. Did I steal it from? Jeez.
This is way better.
Oh, I should get rid of the bottom ones now, huh? Although, I mean, they could be redundant. It would not necessarily everyone's going to get that the borders are.
Yeah, I don't mind redundancy here. I don't mind redundancy. I actually prefer redundancy here.
Do you want to see it?
Yeah, I'll see it.
Let's see it. Because you could have redundancy without being so big about it. Like we could have, like the footer text could have Zen Master, all three of them easily, so that you know they're going to be seen at least.
I love these black and white, like the wireframes of the logo. I love it. It's so cool.
Yeah, fun view. Yeah, I mean, just pretend these bottom left text fields actually say something that would remind you that you have three options.
Oh, right. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I prefer the big buttons. I prefer the big buttons, I think. But maybe I'm not seeing something. Maybe I need to see the actual text being there. Maybe they don't need to be big. Maybe they need to be small. I feel like there's a fear in me here, which is like a fear of usability. Like I don't want to. We had good usability. I don't want to lose that. And maybe I'm wrong. Like I liked what it was like before. And I don't want to lose it. I liked it.
Okay, go back. It's fine. I'll live in. Yeah, no, I'm with it.
Yeah, like I don't know if I'm right, but I liked what it was before, and I don't want to lose it, and I care about it. I miss it.
I'm down. I'm down for the cause. Not lose the good feelings.
And maybe those buttons could be smaller now that I'm looking at them. But I like them as wide buttons. Or maybe not white buttons, but maybe, you know, like buttons, not just text. Yeah, I like that. I wouldn't mind them. So I'm speaking louder because your music. You've got like a big yeah, I wouldn't mind them as like at the bottom of the screen, like
Yeah, I think they'll get better. They have to, and it could be that they won't be full span. Like maybe I can imagine having just like a nice, like if part of why you, well, we'll see. I mean, I can imagine going like 3 column instead of 3 rows.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking as well. Yeah, like 2 column.
Punchy. You know, I can just try that real quick. That's like. You know. I don't know if you would want a thumbnail for the page you're on. Probably not.
Wouldn't
I guess you could have.
wouldn't it be two column? I'm not sure. Like the am I being a
Well,
fool?
that's what's up. Sorry.
But wouldn't two column be the?
Well, yes and no. Since there are three entities, if you really did want it,
Oh.
like I could imagine just wanting to repeat the one that you're on for each one, like having it be actually consistent for every.
Oh, I like this. Yeah, no, this is a really good idea. And then like the button could be like clicked essentially. Like it could appear as clicked.
Yeah. It can appear as clicked. Um, I don't want it to feel like you're chasing something that you can't find. It's like
Yeah.
I wanted where's that third button that I saw on that other page? I don't,
Right. No, you're
like
completely
that.
right. That this is way better as a three column. This is great.
And then, well, there's also the potential that if it does seem weird to have the Zen Master button on the Zen Master page, that the Zen Master button could be a homepage button. Maybe I think maybe just like even just the idea of sticking to like three seems good.
Oh yeah, how do
That's
we get back to the homepage?
I don't know. Click the Hanjo at the top or something.
Oh yeah, that's a
You
good
could have
idea.
a home button at the bottom. I don't know.
Is this the low energy part of the stream? um, no, I think this is great. I think the three columns is great. I think click of the Hadro to go back home is great. I wouldn't mind that being made more explicit, but like that's just a random opinion which doesn't need to be paid attention to right now.
You want a more explicit way to get home.
Yeah.
You just, yeah. Cool. Funny, I didn't expect you to be so. I guess it makes sense for you to be so caring about your users.
I like good UX. I like things making sense. I like things being easy. I don't like things being hard and bad.
Yeah, I'm with it. Let's see this color. I don't know. Bah.
Yeah, I guess a home could be in the footer.
Well, I was thinking maybe if we're gonna have a little egg boy.
Oh yeah. Oh, a little home. That's fun.
We could have a little home fella.
That's fun.
Little cuties.
I love the egg.
Well, he's not much of an Easter egg if we're calling so much attention to him.
He doesn't need to be that much of an Easter egg. Maybe we could put the home in on like as in top of the on top behind the Hanjo eyes as well. Crazy idea.
On the top.
Yeah, on the top behind the Hanjo eyes is like crazy idea.
What do you mean by behind?
As in like it's like that's the face. It's like it is the home. It's a home with eyes.
You mean up here?
Yeah, like that. Yeah. Oh no, that's the Ku Klux Klan. That's unintentional.
I don't know if I would have gotten that. I guess.
Yeah, no, you know what? He looks kind of cute, actually. Maybe I'm being a bit too judgmental, but it's a little bit cloudy.
You can make him more like a home, maybe. Put a little chimney on him,
Yeah. I love this. Oh, it's so cute.
This is definitely cute. The placement here to me is the placement you would give a logo, not the placement you would give a home symbol. So to me, this looks like this is like Hanjo, like you just happen to have a head for a house or a house for a head, as opposed to like maybe if this was up here as we had it. Not that this was even really a suggestion, but it seems like we're rolling with it for now. And then down here using
Oh, I
like
love
this.
this having the little man here. Yeah, well,
Yeah, yeah,
the
just
thing
like
is, my idea was making it explicit that the main
right.
page is a loving space to my cultural beings. Like that ties into making the Hanjo, which appears on other pages, like that you click to go back to him, as like a home.
Yeah. Right. So you're saying that the front page wouldn't have a home, and it would be just on the other ones.
Yeah,
It'd go home to. Yeah, I don't know, man. Cool.
yeah, and this links into this another thing that I wanted to say, which is like it'd be cool if the loving, like if the homepage looked more loving, like a loving space. Like there was a heart somewhere. I don't know, a big heart. I don't know. But yeah, this is just another thing, and that just ties into this idea of like that being its own being, the loving space being.
Right.
Yeah, it's
Oh
like yeah,
yeah,
yeah, it should all be beings, right?
man, you just fucked this up. We need four. We need four beings here. There's got to be four beings in the nav.
No,
There's got to be.
no, the beings are inside this being. It's fractal.
I know, but there's no home. Like, look at this. Look at it on the right. There's no homepage here.
What we need is
There's no
the
home
eyes
content.
at the top of the homepage with the home on it. That goes to that page that is already on.
Yes. Right. So I think this top area just needs to be its own box.
Oh, how about a heart as the logo with the eyes on it?
Right.
Yeah,
Let's
that's
do.
loving space home. The heart.
Yeah, we'll do all three. We'll have your eyes. We'll have a home, and we'll have a heart.
Yeah.
And we'll try and get these onto the front page too, so that this looks like a reference to the front page.
Yeah.
Not
a loving
well.
space. Yeah. I love it.
Damn, dude. This is gonna be so weird when it's done.
I love it.
It's funny how.
Well, you could even write home. You could even write home.
Do you want that in place of the icon, or
Maybe left align the logos or something, and then write home. I don't know. I'm just making up stuff. But it'd be nice if the word home was there, because I like the idea of like a person being a home, which is a loving space for cultural beings, and then the webpage being that.
I don't know if I follow that. I might be almost done, to be honest.
No problem.
I'm tired. And when you say something and then I realize I don't necessarily want to make the effort of understanding it, then I realize maybe I need to stop. But well, you just, because I don't. The thing is too, like, there's like design mind thing where it's like you have these users, and then there's like fanboy mind where I want to just encourage this to be exactly who and what you are. And like the thing is, all the stuff you're saying, I wouldn't like. No one's gonna get what you're saying. I don't think. Like no one's gonna get that you're making a comparison between the body container and the as like website container, as a body container, as like an energy container. And certainly that's not going to come through more because we have the word home or house or whatever. But that doesn't matter.
I actually disagree. I think it comes through, but it hits them in a place which isn't in the intellect, and they get they get the energetic reception of the thing without the understanding of it explicitly.
I agree with you, and I right, and that's why I was concluding that I needed to maybe stop working on it, because I'm starting to, my asshole mind is starting to get louder.
You're like, no, fuck off. I don't want to do my work. It's nearly done.
Well, no, I mean, it's the asshole mind. Like, well, yeah, I don't know. It's like That doesn't make as much sense as it should.
Yeah, and
Like,
I want to,
it's not even that it doesn't make sense. It's like the stupid sense.
I want to show
Um,
love and care to the to the asshole mind who wants you to not do so much work all the time and take a little break. I think maybe we should take a break and come back another time. Oh, I love it without the white with just the outline. That's amazing.
Bro, you think we're not going to do a visual language?
I love visual language. Oh, it looks amazing. This is so good.
We'll see. I mean, part of what's fun about working with you or having this conversation or just watching how this is unfolding, and also in the context of what we just said about like rational mind versus instinctive mind.
Yeah.
Because I agree with you. I do think all of the intention that you have in yourself for this website is going to come through. And especially because it's going to be so eclectic. Like, this is really weird.
I love it.
And it's funny how this is the kind of style that I generally enjoy, which is very like collage of different whatevers. But it's funny how often it doesn't come as easily for you're so multi-layered. It's very simple to talk through this and for it to express itself very quickly. This has more personality quickly than well, we've only been working on this for like less than 2 hours, I think.
Yeah, it hasn't been long.
2 hours and 15 minutes. And it's already like extremely individuated.
Yeah, and I'm super glad that I'm working with someone who can just sort of take all of this individualism that I have and just throw it into the cultural space in such a beautiful way.
Yeah, it would be fun to watch you work with I don't know, with like fucking an actual studio. They would
just butcher everything. Don't understand any of it.
They would cry and make fun of you, and yeah, man. People are mean about their clients.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, like a designer. Sorry, this isn't a knock on you. This is a knock on designers. I wasn't trying to do any kind of underhanded thing. The thing about designers is like, there's this. Well, I'm going to start getting. There's an interesting culture within design that has been pervasive for a long time and probably will be for who knows how long. That is like designers know. Like, we're designers, it's our job, and therefore we're the ones that know how things should work. Or like when we're talking to clients and clients give ideas that don't sound like how designers speak, or like they don't talk in a way that is like follows a logical progression that a designer would be able to come up with, it just gets knocked. It's like, it's not appreciated, it's not taken as an opportunity, and it's very boring. And yeah, that's why I don't work anywhere. It's like, just like, it's just very hard to develop this kind of mindset in any kind of. I didn't know that I was going to develop this mindset, and I wouldn't have been able to if I hadn't instinctively been opposed to reducing everything down to, like, I don't know. Designers don't do anything. Like, design as a cultural force is negligible, like as a profession. And so I've just never wanted to take designers at face value in terms of knowing anything. So that's worked out well for me.
I really like that. The idea of designers as like a tool, or like, it's almost like they're the shape of the thing, they're not the content. And it's like they're like whatever is, you adjust to whatever the person's giving you. It's like a very I don't want to say it, but zen thing. It's very, it's like you're like water, and then like whatever like shape is given, you fill it as a designer. I know that idea of almost like there being like a selfless aspect to it, where it's like you're not the one who does things. I really liked it.
I mean, it's not like that's just my thing. I mean, it gets a lot of lip service because it sounds good. It's like, oh yeah, of course I'm going to channel my client. But I would say in my experience, it just doesn't seem to be like, okay, at any particular individual level, it doesn't matter if it's true or not, because it's definitely true at the cultural level. Like, at the cultural level, the heroes that we have as an industry are people like Paul Rand, who like would only give one option to their clients.
Right.
And it's just like, well, what does that tell you about our ego? That someone like that would be our hero.
Yeah, like design is the best. They know everything. Like the client's an idiot. He's not a designer.
Or yeah, like they don't have access to special information that we have access to, which is true. But that the information that we have access to that they don't is the stuff that like isn't the stuff that's supposed to give you an opinion. This is stuff that's supposed to help extract good answers or whatever.
Designer as a vehicle that comes into my head as like a phrase. It's like a vehicle to get somewhere is like the designer. It's like, oh, you want to. It's like you've got a thing and you want it to culturally get somewhere. Well, design's the vehicle for that.
Interesting. Designer. Well, the design is the vehicle for traveling through culture. Designer as the designer of the vehicle. I mean, it's the same thing. I guess there's no reason necessarily to separate.
Well, driver of the vehicle, I'd say, and by driving it, design is created.
Are you? Would you say you're thinking energetically?
In some sense, yeah. I'm sort of reading your energy and describing it.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, that's the way. I would say that it feels accurate more than like when I try and visualize it as like a car or some shit. Like it falls apart more. But energetically, it's like, yeah, I think that seems.
Yeah, it's almost like a vacuum, like a vacuum where you're sucking something into the cultural space.
Jeez, wait, what do you mean by that? Are you saying the design of the design is you're designing a vacuum that when placed in the cultural space,
yeah,
is filled?
Yeah, it's both. It's both. You're designing the vacuum. And you are the vacuum by designing the vacuum.
Yeah. A vacuum that's so very interesting. I'll have to think about that one. But yeah, a lot of the kind of work that I'm interested in is like the kind of work that reads the signals of the context appropriately so that when you let it loose, it like absorbs existing energy essentially. It's like you're not necessarily inventing as much as you're inverting or harnessing. So the vacuum angle hadn't occurred to me, but it feels similar.
I love that direction that you're talking about right now. That sounds really good.
I'm starting to spin my wheels a little, maybe.
Yeah. You've been talking about ending the stream for a while now.
Well, no, I went on a little rant about design, which I feel silly about.
No, it's fantastic.
Well, I mean about like design culture. I don't like being the guy that talks about other people or other culture or a part of the culture that I'm in. I'm fine. I don't know why I'm acting like every guy. But what do we want to do? I don't know. What's up? What do you want to do?
So when would you be free to do another session if you're gonna continue this another time?
I don't know.
Years, months, weeks?
No,
days?
I mean the first answer that came to mind was I can do this time again next week.
Oh, fantastic!
But that doesn't mean we couldn't do it sooner too. But then I started to think about what I've got going on this week, and I'd have to think more.
Okay.
But Sunday nights are reliable for me. I was obviously late, so maybe we would want to plan ahead for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, we could do same bat time, same bat channel.
And yeah, if you could just, I guess, send me these files, and I'll like work on content to include in the website for then.
Yeah, that I was just gonna say. I think the move would be, yeah, what you just said.
Cool.
All right. Well, I could just take a break, but also I kind of just want to be done.
I think being done seems good.
Yeah, I think. Well, this is rad too. I mean, this is a good. Yeah.
I'll grab a screenshot, and yeah, I'll work on some content to fill this up.
I'm gonna have to. I'll after the stream or something. I'll go find Varsity Bookmarking, and you'll see how similar. But it's such a good vibe. It's such a good vibe. But the way it worked with Varsity Bookmarking is that everyone picked their own background image. You would pick an image, and then it would just repeat it. I love the aesthetics of repetition. You take one image and you see it 50 times. You see things about the image that you couldn't have seen otherwise. It's just phenomenal. So so everyone picked their own background image, and anyway, when you were in an interview, the left hand there was literally a column, and the color of that column was the repeated background that they had picked, and that was the previous interview, and then the right hand column was the next interview, and so you could just click, and go through, and it would actually slide over. It was nice. Sigh, big sigh.
That's a shame that's sad that was murdered by culture.
No, it's fine. It was. I murdered it. I don't blame anyone but myself on that. I have a long. If it hadn't been that, it would have been something else. I've started many. I would say I'm at a rate of about one project a year that I'll launch on my own. That takes a substantial amount of work that I then abandon within a few months of having launched it.
Mm.
It's kind of my jam. This is the beginnings of it. This is actually the structure, the nav structure. Let's see if I can. Oh, here we go. This isn't a great one, but. Yeah, so this was Justin Roulette's interview. This was his banner that repeated the picture that he had picked. This was his interview. And then, this wasn't the repetition one, but you can see the column peeked out, the image the next guy picked and the previous guy picked. Whatever. This one wasn't the same, but. All right.
It's a nice design. Yeah. So the way I see it is there could have been more done, but there's not going to be more done. And this can sort of gestate for both of us because I think it's been an introduction to like the idea. And also, this has been like the shape. And like this can all fill out into like an actual real thing next time. Does that sound good?
Cool. Sorry we didn't meet your expectations.
No, this is fantastic.
Well, I feel that you want to keep going, and I don't.
No.
Your stamina is higher than mine, even though it's 5 hours later for you.
Yeah, I mean, I got up quite recently. Well, that's not super true. I'm happy to have stamina or not have stamina, and we're gonna do a session later, so it's also we want to be top performance for that.
We're good. All right, man.
Yeah, thank you so much. This has been amazing. This is really, really good. I love it. I'm looking forward to doing more next week or whatever. Or next week.
Cool. I will send this right over so that it doesn't take me a month like the last 3 months or whatever it was. I should package this up. I don't know if I ever sent you this. Whatever.
Thank you.
Do it right now while we're talking. Oh shit.
Okay, I think I'm gonna stop streaming on my end. Bye everyone. Come back next week. The link's gonna be in the description if I remember.